to hear that. I see your muscles getting pretty big down there. What you doing? You riding some big horses down there, or what? See your muscles
Well,
swelling up.
In Barbados, I never used to get on a lot of horses. So when I first came here and I started working for everyone, I broke my record on mornings, got on 8, 13, 15 horses, and also the more horses you get on, the more muscles you gain, you know, the more stronger you get in the saddle. So
Sachin Parris, welcome to the platform. First time being here, man. It's an honor. I'm very happy to have you here. From the first time I met you, I was looking forward to talking with you again because the very first time I was like, man, I got to meet this guy. I came back to Toronto and I was like, yo, is this kid that I met named Sachin? And I like him. Welcome to the platform, man.
uh,
How's things with you?
things are going pretty well, you know. My first year, just taking it easy and learning everything piece by piece and putting everything together. Pieces of a puzzle.
Tell me about this puzzle because you say putting everything together. I guess you must have some stuff that you are talking about, right?
Yeah. Well, the puzzle, my aim is to just keep on elevating and keep going to the top. So I got the opportunity to come in Canada and I just taken every opportunity to learn every everything in horse racing and the people to go very far.
Well, you know,
Uh,
I knew that you have a bit of ambition in you, man. I know that you got probably got some big dreams, and you know, and I'm really curious to hear that. I see your muscles getting pretty big down there. What you doing? You riding some big horses down there, or what? See your muscles
well,
swelling up.
In Barbados, I never used to get on a lot of horses. So when I first came here and I started working for everyone, I broke my record on mornings, got on 8, 13, 15 horses, and also the more horses you get on, the more muscles you gain, you know, the more stronger you get in the saddle. So I was very thankful for that.
I was going to ask you about that because going from Barbados to Canada, I can only imagine that was a big culture shift for you, not only with the climate and so forth, but also, getting one or two horses in Barbados, to coming to Winnipeg and getting on all those horses. What was the biggest difference you noticed right away when you arrive in Winnipeg?
Well, guarantee the weather was very different and the size of the horses and the strength. They were very strong and I had to really I took a couple falls and stuff and I had to really get going into it. It was
Are
a
you
very
serious?
yeah. Not serious falls, but through there were stuff we never experienced. But every time you get on a horse you learn something new. So it was
Hmm.
kind of very challenging at first and the time that I went to Winnipeg it was like kind of like -25 and riding all these horses, my fingers, my toes frozen every day.
You know, I remember when we spoke in Barbados and you told me that you were gonna go down to Winnipeg and I was like, you ever been to Winnipeg? You're like, no. Can you,
Winnipeg.
can you
It's
tell me about the first time when you arrived at the airport and what happened? You're like, what was
when
your
I
thoughts?
first when I first arrived, the chillness, the coldness just hit me one time, and I was wondering, damn, what I really got myself into. It actually took, well, I learned the Saturday and the Sunday. I got everything started out and was galloping horses, so I went straight into work. And it took me actually like 3 weeks to actually settle in, you know. get accustomed because most of the horses were fresh, extra strong, you know. So you had to really take a good while to get into it.
Well, that's a really good confession from you.
Yeah,
But I always the very first time I met you, and something about you that I kind of caught on to. But I'm just wondering from your point of view, moving from Barbados to Winnipeg, or to Canada, pretty much. Has anything changed for you? Have you seen a difference in how things were with you in Barbados compared to how things are with you now that you've moved and gone abroad?
yeah. A lot of things changed. My writing, my whole lifestyle. Because I was living with my mom back home, so when I moved to Winnipeg, it was my first time actually living alone. So I had to learn to deal with my actual self, cook, certain stuff that I never have really dealt with back home. So it was a lot. It was a life changing situation, and it helped me in the better, made me into a better person.
I'm really happy to hear that. I wish a lot of younger people would take a page out of your book. Sometimes it takes just a little bit of uncomfortableness in order for us all to grow, right?
Right,
When everything is spoon fed, you don't really learn a lot. You just know that things are coming your way, right?
right.
But I gotta say, man, you look pretty cool. Not that you didn't look cool when I first met you, but you look pretty cool. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man, I adapt a bit. Yeah, so I'm more settled in and accustomed now. I can say I'm accustomed now to kind of. It's only been a couple months, but it feels like my second home already.
Very, very happy to hear coming from a fellow Barbadian Canadian. I'm very happy to welcome you into the camp of, of Canada.
Correct.
Uh, it's not only a cold place, but it's a cool place to
Yeah,
live.
it's a very nice
Also.
place. Met some very nice people. Yeah, cool place
That's
and
right.
a lot of stuff that I'd never seen before. I explored.
Now I want to jump right into really what I want to ask you about here, and which is winning your first race, man. I see you try so hard
Yeah,
leading up to when you won your first race, and I'm there pumping at home. My wife and my family, they don't know you obviously, but they
right.
hear me talking about you guys, and saying, "Look, man, the kid, he won. I'm happy for you." Can you tell me and share a little bit about that feeling when you knew you crossed the finish line first?
Yeah, when I crossed the line, it was just like finally, finally. That was the main thing. It wasn't really a rush of excitement, but I knew it was coming. So I just said finally to myself. It was kind of really difficult because I had a lot of chances to win my first race, but through being not so experienced, I made a lot of mistakes. So when I finally got everything right, I just was very thankful, and all I could say was finally to myself, to get that bird and that monkey off the bat.
And it feels good.
It feels very good. It feels very good to get off the mark.
And now, now I've checked and see that now you've gotten two.
Okay.
Um, and now I can only imagine that things you get on 13, 14 horses in the morning, has that increased or is kind of about the same?
Well, it's been about the same. Well, the season in Winnipeg is finished. It finished 2 weeks ago. So right now I'm in Calgary looking to ride in St. Downs, but it's a kind of a different transaction. I still getting to everyone's still getting to know me and they still trying to promote myself. But since the second win, my confidence level and everything have boosted a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I don't think they can beat you in confidence. I think you're a pretty confident person, based from what I've seen when I first met you until now. So, if anybody watching, Sachin, he's my guy. Reach out to him. Uh, I'm pretty sure you're going to turn some heads real soon. Horse racing, from what I've gathered, is all about a lot of relationships. So you continue to do what you do, man, and just be yourself and be productive as you normally are. Is there a big difference in Alberta compared to Manitoba? Than what have you seen so far?
Well, right now in Calgary, St. Trudon's is kind of like a smaller meet, so I can't really tell the difference because it's only like 6 suites, and I land here like the 28th. So everyone, well, so far so good because everyone is so close. So I have interacted with everyone and build a good relationship. But I can't really judge compared to Saint Chimel, the Big Trap, and with Asalabonia Downs. Here's a kind of a smaller area, so everyone is together. But the
Ah, I
people
see.
are very
I
friendly. Yeah,
see.
yeah,
Well, that's quite interesting. I think there's another track down there too, isn't there?
yeah. Saint Trudon's. Well, Saint Chimel in Edmonton. That's where the race. That's where the race. The start of the season, and
Hmm.
then they came down to Calgary, and that was probably the 21st. I think the season started the 21st. So I came here. I came here last week Saturday. It was kind of close, so I was no getting to know people. So this weekend coming, I believe I should be getting some rides and getting a chance to feed the trap.
That's awesome. And I'm really happy to hear that. I'm really happy for you. I'm really always happy when I see you youngsters get yourself in position where you can actually go out there and turn some heads and also make a career, make life for yourselves. Because sometimes, you're coming from wherever you come from, sometimes it feels like it's really hard and there's no end, no light at the end of the tunnel, as they will say, right? Uh, I want to just go back a little bit, and you can tell me about your experience in Barbados. Writing, just starting out, and now that you've crossed over to Canada. Um, is there anything that you could reflect on or say, hey, look, I wish we could do this different, or I wish, you know, it might help someone else. I strongly believe that when you pass the information on, you can help someone else, learn a little bit from your experience.
Well, my experience in Barbados was it was kind of rough going, but that's what makes you a better person. True, there's very limited opportunities, and there isn't really, as you're nobody and don't really have any background, it becomes kind of difficult, But I built a couple good relationships with people, and they give me opportunities. Although I only rode 11 races, and then I got the chance to come to Canada. And when I came to Canada, they really liked that I was a bug boy. They appreciate bug boys. So when I came
Yeah,
here, they were all hands open and willing to give me horses. They didn't even know me, just so I could take off the weight and help out the horse. Uh,
that's
that,
interesting. And you do you understand that relationship, and do you understand what that means to those people, those owners and trainers, and that does that put pressure on you to win?
not necessarily, but you feel very good within yourself that these people give you horses to ride. As you don't really know them like that, but true, they say you're a bug boy and they know that you could take off the weight. It just makes you feel good to go out there and ride these nice animals.
Nice. You know, I mentioned your name a few times before, and I remember there was a couple people in Barbados were like, "Who is he? Well, he never been nothing down here yet, and this and that." You know how it goes, right? And I
Yeah,
was
okay.
like, "Well, he's a apprentice, and he's very young in the game, so it's easy to it's easy to dismiss the ones who haven't won yet and who haven't done anything yet, but he's just starting, brand
Correct.
new,
Correct.
and you got to give him a chance. And is that tiring, or was it tiring when you were in Barbados to know that you were in that position, and you're not given a chance because because you're new, you're brand
Yeah,
new.
Well, in Barbados, I can't really say it was tiring because I've heard stories and watched a lot of guys come through the ropes. I know in Barbados you have to wait a while. You have to prove yourself. No one just doesn't give you a bone, you know. You have to actually prove yourself. So it was only when I was in Barbados, I only had my license for a couple months. I rode 11 races, so it was, you know, you said, well, if I do stay here, I gotta grind it out. So you gotta look at it from the better picture. Like it makes you stronger, knowing that no one doesn't really want to give you a chance. So you gotta keep on proving yourself, you know, in order to get a chance in Barbados. That's just how the track really runs.
Hmm. Well, that's interesting, Sachin, because that if you win a couple more races and you spend a few more months in Canada, you actually they could be calling your name when you go back to Barbados. They could be saying, "Look, Sachin, you got to come down here and ride for the gold, ride in the Gold Cup, or you got to come back here and do this and do that because you're going to be in a very good position pretty soon."
Correct, correct. I won't mind coming back and riding, you know, but that's where it all started. And I want to prove myself there at the racetrack, you know, and make a name for myself there too.
Well, I think you'll make a name for yourself, man. I got a confidence that you will do well. You got a right attitude. I think you embrace what it takes to be a jockey, and I think you'll do well, man. I strongly believe that. Don't ever give up. Don't let
Correct,
people uh, put you off.
correct, correct.
Now, I want to ask you a little bit about Winnipeg, and I know that you just recently moved to Alberta, but do you use an agent down there, or do you just kind of ride in the mornings and then get the mounts?
It was kind of a rocky situation when I first came there. No one knew me. They know I was a apprentice, temple apprentice, but I got I got in connections with a guy that this was his first year being an agent, and it didn't really go so well because he was kind of lost to how the game operated. So we parted ways, and then I got in contact with another agent, and he got me in a couple barns, but it didn't really go so well. He picked up another rider, and four riders was enough, so I had to go. So from there, I was end up being on my own, and there was the leading writer's agent say he would give me a hand. He didn't actually have my book, but he gave me a hand. But I was mainly by myself, and that to me that is when I really started to see a bit of success. But the agent in North America is very important. You need someone to have your back full 100. But it was kind of a rocky road with the agent thing.
Well, at least man, I'll tell you this, man. Coming from an old man like me, I'll tell you this. Sometimes you just need to go through those rough spots in order to figure things out. Uh,
Sure.
you get to see things a little bit clearer. Once you go through those roads. But look at you, man. Are you firing agents already, or what's happening there? What's going on with you?
No, no. Well, the guy didn't had a clue of what he was doing, so the rise that I was getting was more mainly my work. So he was just getting a percentage of my work. So
Right.
it wasn't beneficial to me. And
That's right.
the second agent I got, he fired me and picked up another writer. So
Right.
it went both ways.
Now, even like going through that transition from agent to agent and so forth. I just made a little joke about you firing agents and so forth, but that's just my little joke. But what I'm trying to say is, that little experience, did it teach you anything already in your short space of time here?
Yeah, it did teach me a lot. It did teach me a lot that you have to make sure that you deal with the right people in order to succeed in this game. And because some agents just take your book and just put you on anything, and if you do well, they don't mind. They just mainly about the money. So you have to find someone that's actually care about you and your well wishes, and that is what I learned from it.
Are you finding out also that that's pretty hard to do, also to find someone who really cares about you?
Yeah. Sometimes you're better off alone, But an agent actually does a lot of work, but it's very hard. Very hard.
So just going back a little bit. So this is actually your first time in Canada.
Correct. First time ever even traveling. Yeah,
Well, man, I'm pretty sure this must be quite an experience. You can write a book about this stuff, man.
yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure.
Now, is it tough being away from the family?
Not necessarily. I do miss my family, but I know I'm in Canada making a better living for me and them, And they support me full 100, and we contact each other daily. So it still feels like I'm back home because we talk constantly.
Good. I'm very happy to hear that. Very happy to hear that. And it's always good that you're, either really getting out there and putting in the work, and in order to succeed. Because in the beginning, you talk to anyone who's travel, even for jockeys as well, and they'll tell you their stories has not been a bed of roses. So I'm happy to see that you still have a smile on your face, Sachin.
Correct. Correct.
Now, they say Alberta, is loaded with a lot of oil and rich people, secretly rich. Are you finding out that, or is it not the same?
I can't really say that. I haven't really ventured around. I've mainly just been home and to the racetrack. So I can't really say that, but I know it's kind of a open space. Because in Winnipeg, it was more living like the city. So I'm
I
kind of
see.
like, yeah, kind of I'm in the country, so I'm not really surrounded by a lot of people.
So you're surrounded more with wildlife and so forth.
Well, not really wildlife, but it's kind of the highway. A lot of there isn't really not much scenery. There's a mall there, not really much scenery. Just couple buildings and businesses, but there isn't really a lot of people around
I
to
see.
interact and see how they.
Well, I can tell you one thing. That probably will be good for you to keep you focused. Uh, so easily to lose your money and to get involved with other activities. And how is the social life for you and other jockeys in that area?
Well, the jockeys are very friendly and they're making me feel at home. Over here, I have a lot of friends. Me and most of the jockeys from Barbados were more closer back home, so it feels like I'm in Barbados now riding with them. There's Hughes, there's Prescott, there's Beckles, there's Chase, Griffith, and all those guys I actually had a really close relationship with back home, so they're making me feel at home and showing me the ropes of the racetrack and so forth.
Very happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that. And it's good that you guys are able to speak and to get along relatively okay. We know it's competition, and you guys going to
Correct.
beat each other up, but still good that you can share a drink or two with each other.
Correct.
Now, who's the big chef? Anyone that cooks for the entire team, or is it just every man for themselves?
Well, right now I'm staying in a hotel and there isn't no stove or nothing, so you gotta just maneuver or the food or whip up something slick. But there isn't any stove or anything to cook on. So and the other guys stay away like couple minutes away from me. So it
Uh,
just survive. There isn't. I thought they would have had a stove to me to do some cooking, but there isn't anything like that.
now, do they make it easy for you down in the prairies down there in Winnipeg and Alberta? Or I mean, you don't have no comparison besides Barbados, but I guess what I'm getting at is, here in Toronto at Woodbine is like so competitive, and it's a different atmosphere altogether. If you ever have the chance to even pop into Toronto, I mean, you do have the opportunity, even if you pop in for a couple days or so, but at least just to see it and smell it, and see some of the stuff that happens here. I don't know if you'll be able to get down here at some point, but that would be awesome for you.
Yeah, once I'm finished in Calgary and everything goes well, I would at least like to come to Woodbine and experience it and get to interact with some people and see how it goes.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. You'll able to meet some people, shake some hands, let people expose yourself a little bit. And again, they love the Bug Boys, so you never know, right? I'm not saying anything. I'm not promoting anything. I'm just saying that if Sachin Parris comes to Woodbine, at least you'll get to meet him, see that
Yeah,
big, beautiful smile that he has on his face, and you never know, right?
correct, correct. And they're seeing the Bug Boys have been doing really well. There's Fraser, there's Gaskin, there's Bino, and those guys, they really excelled and showed that. And they came from Winnipeg. Fraser came from Winnipeg, and Gaskin and Bino came from Alberta. And they came on the big track and won races.
Yeah, Fraser is something else, man. The first time I met him was down in Hastings, and I didn't. Lo and behold, look where he is right now in Toronto, riding in some big races. It's unbelievable, but those are good stories. I certainly wish the same for you as well. Meeting you in Barbados, just strolling in from off the minibus. Uh, I'll never forget Sachin.
Mm.
I always tell the story. Yeah, like I met Sachin and like I was like, man, I never met a Sachin before. And Sachin, you know what you said to me? Well, you met your first one here today.
Yeah, I can remember.
I thought that was pretty cool, man. That was pretty awesome. Um, being a jockey, I'm going to ask you this because is this something you always wanted to do or be a jockey?
Well, it was always to the back of my mind. Like, I would always watch the races on like the Gold Cup on CBC when I was younger, and always had it to the back of my mind. So in my teenage life, I told my mom that I wanted to try it, and we called a couple people and stuff, and the prices were kind of extortion. So I just had it, I just threw it one side and was going along, and then an opportunity came. I was in school. It was the last year of my school year, and there was a government program that my good friend from another school hooked me up with. It was in his school, not my school. And the teacher would come in our neighborhood, and he made me I met the teacher, and she put me in the program. And the next couple of weeks, I was on Robert's Pierce farm,
Hmm.
and from there, it never stopped. So I was blessed enough for that opportunity, because when me and my mom used to call around, and they were like $60 an hour, and I was like, my mom was like, we can't afford that. So you know,
Yeah.
so when I got that chance, I was very thankful.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough. I would say in Barbados, that's pretty tough to meet. The $60 an hour. I
Hmm.
mean, that is pretty tough. But I didn't realize the fee was like that. I guess you would have to go in some debt just to make it
Yeah,
through the jockey school or whatever, right? Just the
correct,
riding school.
correct,
Well, I'm glad that you were able to get over that. You found a way. That's what we do.
correct. Find a way, no matter
Yeah,
what.
man. That's right. You got to find a way, and here you are right now trying to make a name for yourself. I mean, to be honest, Ashton, me and someone else, we were talking about jockeys, and we were talking about how jockeys could be on a small track or somewhere, and then they make just a little move, and they find a horse, and lo and behold, they find themselves in the Kentucky Derby, they find themselves in a big race, and this is just how it goes. Are you
Correct.
ready for this lifestyle?
Pardon me?
Are you ready for this lifestyle?
Yeah, I'm fully prepared. My aim is to go at the top. My aim is to ride with the best riders. So any opportunity I get, I want to grab it with both hands and both feet. Because I know horses. One thing I know, horses will take you places. So as you say, you may meet the horse, and you may ride a horse, and you may just transform to be Breeders' Cup or Kentucky Derby material, and then here there you're on the big stage. You know, so I'm very prepared.
I gotta say, man, the one thing I do like about you is that you're confident. You smile sometimes. And and you embrace the fact that like this is you could jump right into being a star, but you also, it seems to me like you know exactly your position right now, which is being an apprentice. It's all about waiting your turn. But if the opportunity comes, you're not scared to be in that position. um, that must be a really awesome place to be right now for you.
Yeah, for sure. But when I really looked at my career and where it came from, August this year was only a year I was officially race riding. So I was saying, well, Sachin, you're not really that experienced, but you came a long way. You came and ride with some good riders, and you got a lot of experience, and you got 2 wins. And now you're here another track looking for more wins. So I'm always ready, always prepared for anything.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to be, and that's the direction. Only one way to go from here. That's up, man.
Upwards.
Well, so you may ride again this coming weekend.
But yes, I believe this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I'll be booked on rides at Century Downs. The entries are event tomorrow, but most likely I'll be riding this weekend on this racetrack.
Very happy to hear that. I know you said that you weren't feeling well. How you doing right now?
I'm pretty good. Just had a slight headache. It was just a slight change of weather outside. It was cold and it outside just got pretty hot yesterday, so my body probably just didn't really react to it well. So I got some rest and went to work this morning and I'm feeling 100%.
That's really happy to hear that. Are you still keeping in contact with your colony in Barbados, different people down there, and so forth?
Yeah, I have a lot of support back home, and me and the guys are really good. The ones that I actually interacted with, but me and everyone is okay.
Man, Sasha, I gotta tell you, man. Sometimes I get people here, and the conversations don't always go so well. But I'm saying your conversation is going pretty good. I mean, it looks like you've been here before, so I'm very happy to have you, man. I like people like you. You're able to hold your own.
Thanks, man. Thanks. You gotta prepare yourself because in this game going up, you're gonna got a lot of interviews, and you're gonna meet a lot of people. So you gotta be always ready and prepared for a very nice conversation. So I
Yeah.
practice myself and just prepare myself whenever the chance comes.
Awesome, awesome. To be honest, um, I will be very happy and excited if I see you, or once I see you in one of the bigger races. You got a ways to go, but
Right.
the sky's the limit. Definitely don't let the little things set you back, because definitely there's a lot more out there for you, man. So keep your head on.
Yeah, for sure. For
Well,
sure.
I mean, that's it for now. But I'm pretty sure we will hook up another time. Definitely, I'll be looking forward to speaking with you coming on to the end of the year. Hopefully, you come back.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, I'll be back. Be back.
Well, be back
Looking forward.
anytime, man. Anytime you want, you can hit me up and say, "I want to be back. I got some stuff I want to talk about," or that'd be real cool.
No problem. I'm always
By the way, I was just talking to Elijah Greenwich, and it's just interesting that he this year got to ride in down on Gold Cup Day in Barbados, and I mean, and he was just a little bit of races in, so the
correct.
same thing can happen for you as well, man. So keep
Right.
your fingers crossed and keep your head on your shoulders, and you'll be good to go, man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you.
All right, man. Nice talking to you, man.
Nice talking to you.
All right, you take care.